Hi, welcome to Charlotte's Cooking Show. I'm Charlotte. Today we're making a really great winter family meal and it's called maple curry chicken penne. My kids love it, yours will too. I first came across this recipe when I bought this sweet fundraising cookbook from Kennebecase's Park Elementary School. Came across this great recipe. It's so delicious. In fact, I love this fundraising idea so much that when I was on the home and school at my kids' elementary school, we kind of stole the same idea and made our own cookbook of your favorite family recipes. It was a huge job. Shout out to Katie who did that. That was a big job, but it was a great fundraiser. And if anyone asks you if you want to buy a cookbook from their kids' elementary school, do it. You're gonna find some great gems in them. This recipe calls for 4 chicken breasts. Those are currently now sauteing. I seasoned those with salt and pepper a little bit beforehand, cooking those in a little bit of oil. And also I've got my water, salted water boiling for a box of penne noodles. And we will cook those and have those ready to put into the sauce when it's all done. So this recipe calls for 1 medium onion. Probably call that a medium onion. And I'm just going to dice this up finely. I find that especially with kids, they don't like little bits of food like that mixed in. So the finer you can dice up your onion and your red pepper, the better off you'll be. Next up, we're going to dice up half a red pepper. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this kind of kitchen wives' tale, but I've heard if you count the bumps on the bottom of a red pepper, it means that one is female and one is male. The more bumps, it means it's a female and sweeter, and less bumps, it's a male and a little, I don't know, less sweet. Anyway, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I always buy peppers with 4 bumps. The final thing that we need to chop up are 3 cloves of fresh garlic. I always use fresh garlic. I've never bought jarred garlic. I just find that it always tastes better when you chop it up or mince it up fresh. And of course, I always use my trusty Pampered Chef garlic press, which is the best. We've got our onion, our red pepper, and our garlic cloves all chopped up, ready to go. I'm gonna take them over to the cooktop. We are going to saute them in some olive oil and a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to use the frying pan that we cooked our 4 chicken breasts in, and you'll see there's a little bit of some oil and nice flavor from the chicken left over. I've added 2 tablespoons of butter, and now it's time to add all of our nice veggies into this great flavor, and we'll saute them. I'm going to use an entire box of penne rigate noodles. They take about 10 minutes to cook. So you want to make sure that your boiling water is ready to go and that you've added some salt to it because you want to flavor the water. So here we go. Our next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of sugar. All you're going to do is kind of sprinkle it over the sauteed veggies and just kind of let it caramelize for a couple minutes. And that just means sort of let it mix in and get nice and sugary and sticky. This recipe calls for curry paste. I buy this curry paste. I love using it. It's nice and mild, and I love the paste flavor instead of the curry powder. It's not quite as sharp. You just add it right in like that and mix it in. Our next ingredient is pure 100% maple syrup. I have found this really interesting thing of maple syrup in this funny package. Usually comes in a glass jar, but this one has a pourable spout, which is genius. And when you open it and use it for the first time, you just store it in the fridge afterwards. This recipe calls for 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. Next step is 3 large tablespoons of cream cheese. I like to bring mine to room temperature. It makes it a little bit easier when it comes time to melting in the sauce. So we're gonna put the cream cheese in first before we put any of the other ingredients. And we'll use the backside of a fork to kind of smush it all in. Cream cheese is all mixed in, nice and melted. It looks delicious, smells amazing. Now it's time to add in half a cup of chicken stock. I like Campbell's, it's a great brand. I always buy it. We're doing a great job of building our sauce. The next ingredient we have is some cream. In the recipe it calls for cream. I'm using homogenized milk, so it's about 3.5%. So it's a little thicker than normal milk, but not quite as heavy. You're gonna pour in half a cup, and that's the final ingredient in our sauce. So we've done a really good job of building all those layers of flavor. And then after this, we'll have a taste, and then we'll add in our chicken. Our last ingredient before we add our pasta and serve this delicious meal, I've diced up our 4 chicken breasts that I sauteed earlier, and they go right into the sauce. Got everything assembled. Now it's time to take our penne noodles from the pot of boiling water, and we're going to add them to the sauce. I'm using this really large slotted spoon here so the water drains out, but it's okay if we get a little bit of the pasta water in because that's nice and starchy and it adds to the sauce. So the reason we're adding the noodles in is we want to make sure that we don't have too many noodles for the sauce that we've made, because you don't want dry pasta. Okay, here it is. Our last little tiny bit, of course, is you have to garnish with some nice green chives. I use the Lighthouse freeze-dried herbs when I don't have fresh. They're great, they're bright, they're green, they have nice flavor. And these chives finish off this meal perfectly with a little hit of green. I hope you really enjoy this meal. My family loves it. I know yours will too. So this is maple curry chicken penne. Let's have a bite, shall we? Now it's time to have a bite. Kids are coming home from school. I know they're gonna love this. They love it when I make it. It's curry, it's mapley and sugary. You can taste all the great flavors in this. You guys are gonna love this recipe. You should really give it a try.